comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So finally, we have some closure. Case closed on the Epstein thing. You know, I thought this whole time that there might be an Epstein client list, that Ghislaine Maxwell went to prison for a reason, that Epstein got disappeared because he was guilty of something. How pissed would you be if you were Epstein? Prematurely committing suicide when you would have got acquitted through lack of evidence. Bad timing. I actually stole that joke off a guy from Twitter. Don't worry, he only had like 400 followers, so it's like I was stealing it out of the ether. So at least we don't have to worry about that now. The Epstein case closed, nothing to look at. Everyone's happy. I'm satisfied. They're like, we looked into it and just so happens everything we were saying like 2 weeks ago, that stuff about, we're just going over the film. We're just looking into all the stuff, the things on my desk. We didn't even say that. It was AI. So it's good. It's good not to have to worry about that anymore. It's good to it's good to know politicians and the powerful just are trustworthy people. But they know how the game's played now. Everyone knows how the game's played now. People will be pissed off about this for about, I would give it till the end of the week. It will go from everyone being pissed off about it like today and yesterday to Thursday, half the people will have moved on. Saturday, the weekend, that drops another like at least 40% off. And then by Sunday, it's just fringe nut jobs. And when I say fringe nut jobs, I mean people seeking the truth. There'll be plenty of distractions. Don't worry. There'll be a ramp up in ICE fucking arrests or something like that. They'll stoke some racial divide of some sort. I'll call this on ICE as well because I've been following it a little bit. This is how I see ICE playing out. At the moment, ICE is basically, eventually it's going to be like the secret police type thing. But at the moment, let's say it's being created to deport illegal immigrants. And to justify ICE's existence, they need to do that. So ICE will deport a bunch of illegal immigrants. It'll be visible, they'll film it, there'll be a big show about it, it'll distract everyone. But later on down the track, as ICE grows bigger, I swear this is going to happen. It came to me in like a vision. And it usually happens like this anyway. I tell you what's going to happen. Eventually, they're going to start getting... and this is going to fuck people up. They're going to start getting the illegal immigrants to join ICE. And at the start, it will be under the banner of like, yeah, they're going to help us. They're the good ones. The good ones can come. And then eventually, ICE will become predominantly illegal immigrants. The ranks of ICE will be filled with illegal immigrants. Because who's going to be more loyal than an illegal immigrant that would have been kicked out of the country if not for this job? And who's going to be more vicious and loyal? Because that's what you need when you're creating your own sort of like personal secret police. You need loyalty and viciousness. And then, obviously, we all know it will start off as illegal immigrants, and then it will just move along to like dissenters, people who ask questions about the Epstein file, people who ask questions about P. Diddy. Like, if you're getting angry about any of this, you have no concept of what world we've been living in this whole time. The veneer's just been pulled away. This was always under the surface. Now it's just coming to light. And for a lot of people, it's pretty jarring. But still, you shouldn't react. You can't react to these sort of things because Well, there's many reasons not to react because they want a reaction. That's one of the reasons is don't react because they want a reaction. The other reason not to react is because you're just going to react in the way they want you to react. It's going to be some sort of like xenophobic, racist hatred of some sort against someone. You're never going to go after the people who have actually done this. It'll just be like, Muslims. What are you doing in my country, Muslims? I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, when did I meet my first Muslim? And it was in primary school. I'd never even heard of a Muslim. And then like a bunch of kids at my primary school came from Bosnia and they were like, yeah, we're Muslim. And we're like, what the fuck is that? And they're like, we can't eat ham. So we all put ham in their mouth. And they were my first ever Muslims. And then I think back, I'm like, okay, they came from Bosnia. What was happening in Bosnia then? Bombings. That's what was happening. Wars. So they came as refugees. And then I was like, all right, well, they obviously fled because they were being bombed. I would like to flee a country being bombed as well. All right, who was the next Muslim that I met? The next Muslim I met was a Lebanese dude. And that was a little bit later on in primary school. And I was like, all right, what was going on in Lebanon in like the 90s or whenever? And you just need to look up your history book. Bombings were happening in Lebanon. So, all right, they were being bombed, so they ended up here. Okay, then who was the next one? And it was an Iraqi guy. My mum dated an Iraqi guy who was a piece of shit, by the way, but so I'm not defending him. He was an absolute piece of shit, but he was an Iraqi. And I was like, all right, what was happening in Iraq? How did he end up here? And then you look back, bombings again. It's like, all right, do these people actually want to come and take over the country or were they just being bombed? And it's like, okay. So pretty much any Muslim I've ever met in Australia is here because of some sort of bombing campaign. So I'm not really going to turn to them and go, you're the problem. Like, I went through a place called Guildford the other day in Sydney. Jesus Christ. It is, and I'm telling you, when I went through there, it was like the Islamic State of fucking Guildford. It was hectic. I didn't even know places like that existed in Australia. I've never ventured out that far, but I needed to do my fucking lung test, and it was hectic. Like, the high school must have finished, and everyone, I'm talking everyone, well, all the females had headscarves and all the dudes were obviously Muslim as well. So it was jarring to see, but you also got to be like, well, if you're going to sanction the bombing of countries, then you're going to expect a little bit of spillover from some of these countries. Because usually what they're trying to do is they're trying to overthrow one of the fucking sides in a country. So they have to team up, and I mean like the CIA, USA, fucking England, MI16 or whatever fuck it's called, MI6, Australia, ASIO, whatever. Mossad, don't forget them. So they're trying to overthrow the leader of a country for whatever reason. But to overthrow them, you have to team up with another side. And so you team up with the other side. But when the bombing starts, the people that are on your side have to fucking flee to somewhere. So they're like, all right, well, we'll take some of the people that are affected by these bombings, okay? They can come to our country while we bomb the shit out of theirs. That's how it works. But I barely even think it's worth trying to explain shit to people anymore. People are so fired up now. They're just raging, chomping at the fucking bit. I don't know where the Indians come into it though. I really don't understand that one. They're just letting Indians in everywhere. Maybe it's just to dilute the population or something. I don't know. Maybe because Indians they're very obedient. I was reading a little bit about the British East India Company and how much they completely fucked India. And it wasn't like it was fucking overthrown militarily. It was administrative. They went in, they made deals, they fucked people over, they got some people on side, shafted other people, played people off against each other. They basically played the Indians off against each other and took control via that method. Sound familiar? Does it sound familiar at all? They played the population, the whole entire population of India, which was still like 500 million in 1850 or whatever. They played them off against each other, got them to hate each other, and then just controlled them because while they were hating each other, they weren't really looking around until Gandhi. Anyway, my main prediction is that ICE thing. I guarantee you at some point they come out and they announce we've got some new jobs for the illegal immigrants. Any illegal immigrant that wants to join ICE and help track down illegal immigrants, you'll get a free green card after 10 years service. Watch. There'll be 1 million ICE and they'll pay them nothing. That will be the signal. That will be the signal for end times because shit will get fucking hectic after that. Anyway, put that in your bank. Thank God we don't have to worry about fucking Epstein anymore. Case closed. Justice served. And I'm just glad we can just move along with our lives. Anyway, fucking that'll do it for tonight, and I'll see you the fuck later.